about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Around the YouTube, it's Charles here, and today I want to talk about a book that I have not seen enough people talking about, in my opinion, and that is Cyberpunk 2077 um, Psycho Squad. This is from Dark Horse Comics, and I have been pleasantly surprised by the two series I've read in the Cyberpunk universe from Dark Horse. Last year it was Cyberpunk 2077 Kickdown, which in my very first review of it, I described it as a futuristic version of the Fast and the Furious. And as I read it, I felt less so like that. But then as I reflect upon it, even more so, and that is the moral ambiguity and fluidity of the protagonist and antagonist. Everybody in this universe seems to be duplicitous, which allows for very complex storytelling and story arcs. The end of Cyberpunk Kickdown, the last few panels, was one of the few times in comic books where I was truly shocked with how that turned out. I'm not going to go into detail on it because it's something that you could still find in single issues and, if not now, very soon available in trade paperback. And I highly suggest you get into that. And Cyberpunk 2077 Psycho Squad is the same way. In issue number 1, we meet the Psycho Squad, a group of elite policemen. I guess you could, they'd be a parallel to SWAT, but they specialize in what they call cyber psychos. In this future, cybernetics is the thing, and people become addicted to these cybernetic additions to their bodies. And what will happen is eventually they will have these mental breaks where they go cyber psycho, which is a rampage of sorts, to where they go on uncontrollable killing sprees. And they have to call in the Psycho Squad to handle business. And in the first issue, who I thought was going to be the protagonist, the leader of this Psycho Squad, she ended up dying in issue 1. And this new character, who they introduced as kind of a loose cannon, a wild card, so to speak, had been promoted to the team leader despite her dubious behavior and her recklessness. And so I found that to be very interesting, and I was kind of curious to where they were going to go with this character. Is she a misunderstood protagonist, or is she a wolf in sheep's clothing? And in issue 2, they continued that thread. She did things like injure a cyber psycho and leave him out, knowing that his crew was going to come to try to strip the equipment off of him and let him suffer. And when a team member was feeling guilt about using this cybernetic junkie as bait, she sent him out to give him some water. And in essence, used his own team member of hers as further bait to draw out the rest of this crew. And that was a very, very good issue. That was in issue number 2. And here we get to see the effects of that decision. The guy got injured, and he is, we start off this issue with him in the medical bay being examined. He has traumatic leg damage, and, he's ordered to go on leave. But then you start to see flashbacks of his past. And she alluded to it, kind of mocking him when he showed empathy. Because apparently he had gone cyber psycho in the past. And it was, really a moment of cruelty and sadism that you saw in this team leader, Lieutenant Hook. And so it was alluding to her being a bad guy, but not really. But yeah, regardless, she is a sociopathic, violent individual. But here, what they do is with him trying to calm his mind, they actually visually depict his flashbacks of him walking into a room as he is in reality, but saying the things that he had done in the past. I thought that was great, and the art in this book is remarkable. It's very bright, yet violent and grim, and it always sets the right mood. In this flashback, you see the overcast of red and blood, and it lets you know that this is a different type of scene. And just as he's having that flashback, a team member, invites him out to a bar. And he thinks it's just to talk, but really it's to observe. And it's to observe Lieutenant Hook in her off hours. And we find out that not only is she dubious and violent and sociopathic at work, but in life as well. And she uses her badge as a means of expressing that nature and really abusing it and murdering people under the guise of her police work. And they discuss how, when they researched her, she had a very high rate of success dealing with the cyber psychos, yet no arrest. She has killed every individual she's come into contact with. And so that creates a tension here, and then you find out even more stuff. And this is the part where I'm going to just quit going into details because I want you to discover it yourself, but I'll give you this one panel here of when they are looking in on her, kind of following her around surreptitiously, and you find out that not only is she dubious, but she's also into other behaviors, illicit behaviors, that is driving her sadism and her mental break, and is going to put the team in even more danger. This is number 3 of 4. And so, this is about to be wrapped up here soon. And I am very, very interested to see, how this ends. It has been superb in its storytelling. The art has been exciting, engaging, and it's one of those books that really keep you on your toes. And they give you a lot of information, but it's never convoluted. And so I can't suggest it enough. Check it out at your local comic book store. And if you don't have a local comic book store, I always suggest 1 or 2 places. If you're in Wyoming, Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment, they ship for free in-state, and you spend over $35. And you can check them out at the East Ridge Mall in Casper, Wyoming, right across from the Hot Topic. And as well, if you're not in Wyoming, check out my friend Steve at Coffee and a Comic. They have great deals on comic books and shipping. Ask about the shipping subscription. And so go ahead, check those guys out, show them some love, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.